Okay, so the meta layer is objects that the player cannot directly see, but they still have an effect in the editor. So this first category is AI, and this is where you would go to set AI for the guards. Like if I want to use this random patrol AI and then place it on top of the SWAT guard, then he'll patrol randomly. And I'll explain all these other functions in a different video. But basically, because the player is never going to see this plus sign, it's a meta item, but it still has an effect on the gameplay. You have ambient lighting, so it can create lights. The player's not going to see these lights, but it's going to have effect on the coloring. Ambient sound effects, so sound is going to be emitted from this point that sounds like cathedral bells, and the player's not going to see it. This electronic section is for wiring, so you can have traps being connected to other traps, and I'll explain later how to do that. And there's hidden wiring, so you can define the path that viruses are capable of going through. They automatically travel through walls and doors, but if you wanted to find an extra path beyond that, you can with the hidden wiring layer. The environment is an object that you can only have one in the editor. It determines the music that's being played, the ambient colors on the interior and the exterior. For example, the hijack has like a yellow hue to it, whereas the prison is more darker because it's raining. So those are two different environments. If I place the prison environment, it's going to add all the effects of the prison level. Let's see. I just toggled the lighting temporarily, and I'll explain how lighting works soon. But as you can see, this is the prison weather. This is the mansion weather, and it's the casino weather. So it affects the environment, the side view, which is when you are in the game lobby. The side view has a different look to it and a different color. It's going to determine the music that's being played, as well as the icon of the level on the mission selection screen. Loot is where you would go to place your loot spawners. So this object right here, random loot, will randomly place 5 pieces of loot in your level, and it'll make sure that the loot is pathable from the point in which you place the marker. So if I place this random loot in this room, it's never going to spawn 5 beyond these walls, because outside of these walls, it's not pathable. If I were to create a path, then this loot would now be able to spawn randomly outside of these rooms. To prevent that, if you say had a door right here, so if I wanted to place random loot in this room and I didn't want to spawn beyond this door, despite it being pathable beyond that door, I can use a loot blocker. And the loot blocker will basically act like a wall, so that all the loot that's in this area will only spawn within this area. And then particle effects are the various different effects, like this is fire, I can have flies, and rain. The player will see the particle effects, but they won't see the markers. So that's sort of a quick look inside the different subcategories and objects that you can use inside of the editor. There are a few categories that are a little bit more complicated, like electronics and the AI and some of the lighting, and I plan to go into further details about those later. So thanks for watching.